Just after 6 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Way down yonder, Miss Erin has local news, and it is the first thing coming up next.
Storms roar through, thousands without power. We'll talk about that. A standoff going on in Keithville as we speak. And the guy that is in charge of Crawfest has a change of heart.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's kind of nutty. I mean, we got to talk about that first.
Mm-hmm.
I have tons of questions.
Yeah.
We had a chat yesterday morning with Attorney General Jeff Landry. Need to replay that because of some death penalty stuff that is very important. And speaking of important, there's a Senate vote today, and it's going to be interesting to see how Sens, Kennedy, and Cassidy lean.
Oh, yeah.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour right here on Keel.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Thousands without power this morning. According to SWEPCO, nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex are without power as a storm system moves through. Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. Man broke into a home of his ex-girlfriend. Suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape the home. However, the suspect still believed to be barricaded inside. The founder of Crawfest is turning down the city's help after all. Matt Parker has the latest.
Matt Snyder, founder of Crawfest, has decided not to take the city's help. On Tuesday, Snyder petitioned the city to cover the cost of security, spar, and other hard costs for the for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. On Wednesday, Snyder announced that he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Another day, another school closed due to the flu. Northside Elementary is closed again today because of the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. One man clinging to life, 2 others behind bars. Willie and Marvin Rochelle have been arrested for attempted murder. According to police, the shooting happened on Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. That argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. His wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. The NTSB releasing its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. Pilot Ricky Leonard was given directions by air traffic control before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow those directions once it was in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. With the debate over the death penalty in Louisiana raging, State Senator Dan Claytor plans to file a bill abolishing the death penalty in our state. The Baton Rouge Republican says the death penalty simply doesn't work and is morally wrong. But Attorney General Jeff Landry actually blames the governor for putting the death penalty on hold in our state.
If we have the death penalty and we're not going to utilize it, he is absolutely doing a disservice to the many prosecutors who are out there trying to bring justice.
Similar bills to ban the death penalty have failed previous times. Bossier planning to expand Viking Drive. The project is estimated to cost $10 million. The city will cover 20% of the cost. A federal grant will cover the rest. Senator John Kennedy, who sits on the Senate Budget Committee, questioned the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget, Russell Vaught, over transactions that happened in the final month of the fiscal year. A recent report showed several federal agencies' spending habits that Kennedy wanted answers for.
Are you aware that at the end of last fiscal year, the Department of Defense at the last minute spent $4.6 million on lobster tail and crab?
I am aware of that report, and we're looking into it.
Kennedy's questions didn't just stop with the military's fondness of seafood. The federal government spent $97 billion on contracts in the last month of fiscal year 2018. No big winner in the Powerball drawing last night, so the prize climbs to $495 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
FM 710 KEEL traffic update for Thursday already. First one of the day. Here's Ruben.
Everything's looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on 3132 eastbound near I-49. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
A cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app free to download from all of his furniture stores. So he's not taking the money now. Well, it's not really money to begin with.
It wasn't going to be
services.
money. Yeah.
It was services.
He's going to pay for the services now.
Yeah.
Instead of being free.
Talking about Matt Snyder and his Craw Fest, which was coming up
next weekend
at Betty, Virginia, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Like the third one, something like that? I don't know.
Maybe the third, yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy the last couple of days over a deal that the city did for him where basically they were going to give to him free. See, the thing is, the city was going to make the payment because the payment has to be made, right? Somebody's got to pay those cops overtime.
Yes.
Somebody has to pay those security costs. Somebody
And the
has
SPAR
to pay
workers, yeah.
the SPAR people time and a half or whatever it is the SPAR workers get. So it's not just like Robert and Erin will DJ your wedding for free.
Right.
It's like those people, the police and the SPAR workers with the chairs and the tables, etc. They have to be paid.
Sure.
And that money, rather than come from Mr. Snyder and his Crawfest budget, was in fact going to come from the city coffers. So have I got that right so far?
Yes.
Which was going to total about
about 20 grand.
about $20,000. So what was all the hubbub? What was all the blowback about? Why were so many people upset about
Well, there
this?
was a community outrage about why we're funding
Was
a
it-
for-profit event.
Was it
My phone blew the hell up
I was going to say,
yesterday.
was it community or was this sort of a social media-driven thing
It
where
was
it's
both.
It's about just 10 people that are PO'd?
No, it was a lot of folks. And then you had everybody now getting in line for their free stuff. You know, I said GeeksCon is next in line. Everybody get behind us because we're coming next. I want a resolution on the next agenda.
Well,
on
Chris
the next
Giordano
council
from the
meeting.
State Fair said, listen, for EMS, for security, I pay like $175,000 every state fair. We're nonprofit.
And we're nonprofit, yeah.
So how's about helping us out
Hook
a little
a brother
bit?
up.
Well said.
Absolutely. And there were a lot of people that were getting in line. And I don't know if someone called Matt Snyder from the city and said, ew, I don't know. I think he wanted to kind of, pay for part of it and get part of it for free. And they were like, no, now it's a contract and we can't adjust that now.
You're guessing
It's
now,
all,
pardon me. You're
no,
speculating.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're not?
It's all or nothing.
Wait. You're not.
I can't say a whole lot about it.
Well, you've
but
already started.
yeah, that's all I can say.
So, okay, since this is coming as you are...
And we'll ask. Matt's going to join us in the 7 o'clock hour, so we'll ask him.
You are intimating that someone in the know has told you something. What did this person who will remain...
That's all I can say. I can't say anything.
Repeat what you said.
Well, that there may have been an overture by Mr. Snyder to, hey, we will pay the cost of the security, of the hard costs.
So who went first?
I don't know. I don't know who made the overture.
But
I don't know if somebody from City Hall called him and said, "Ooh, this is going to open a can of whoopworms, and we need to walk this back a little."
Nobody likes those whoopworms.
No, they don't. They're bad, and you can't get a shot. And so he said, "You know what? I'll foot the cost of the security or whatever." And just, give me the tables and chairs for free. I don't know how that went. We're going to ask Matt when he joins us in the 7 o'clock hour.
Do you think he decided? Do we have the soundbite of his? This is from one of the TV stations.
This is from Arclatech's homepage, NBC6.
Okay, so this is him responding yesterday to the question. So you're not taking the city's services. You're not taking the city's money. You're going to do it all on your own.
And will not be taking anything from the city?
Nothing.
So not a cent again. So once again, we go back to never taking anything from the city and have taken all the risk and funded it on ourselves.
Taking all the risk myself.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should. It's your business. That's what a lot of people are saying.
And you're not a nonprofit. That's the thing. When you put on an event, that's up to you. And if it's a wild success, are you going to give the city extra money?
But on the other hand, can you fault the guy for trying to get the best deal,
Right.
which includes
Right.
getting services from the city?
Yeah, and we haven't said that. Should I say what I'm about to say?
Probably not.
What do you think?
I don't know what you're about to say there, Kreskin.
It just smells like a rotten fish in the fridge. It just had an odor.
Had a bad feel to it? Why do you say that?
Okay. There's an elephant in the room, and we all know the elephant.
What's that?
Matt Snyder is on Mayor Perkins' transition committee. He is one of the guys who is meeting, behind closed doors about the transition. I think he serves on the entertainment subcommittee for the mayor's transition panel. And some of the other organizers, some of his other sponsors, also serve on the mayor's transition committee.
Does that necessarily mean he's a bad? We know people who are in those transition committees who are not, were not backers of the mayor.
No, absolutely. But it just, it just has a slimy fish feel to it. It's one of those crawfish that's got the straight tail. You just don't really want to mess with it. It might be okay for you.
We got to go to break. We'll talk about this more and more as the morning rolls on. Mr. Snyder joins us just after 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this before we go to break. Does his turning down the money, does his saying, I don't need the help?
Good move for him.
I'm not
I think
taking
it's a good
the
move.
help. Is it reading too much into it to assume that by turning down, verbal italics, air quotes, by turning down the city's help, does that really tell you that he didn't need it all along?
He can do it without it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got a lot of sponsors for the event. He's got a title sponsor. He's got a stage sponsor. He's got all kinds of stuff. But it's a for-profit event. If he wants to make it a non-profit, like the Revel or something like that, and make this a big festival in our community.
Marky, 10 seconds.
Well, I was just going to say, like I put in my post yesterday, even for-profit events could benefit with a little city help if you're bringing in outside dollars, tourism, and people staying in hotels. I don't think coming from Bossier to go to an exaggerated block party counts as tourism.
Ooh.
But the mayor said
yes,
from the council meeting this week, a large part of these folks are from out of town.
Yeah, Bossier.
I don't think that's true. These are not overnight guests.
1017 FM, 710 Keel Sports just ahead. Here's Ruben traffic time.
Looks like I-220's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now. We'll bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight. Chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
FM, 710 Keel Sports Time. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Louisiana Tech moseyed into the quarterfinals of the Conference USA men's tournament with a 57-56 win over Florida Atlantic and Frisco, Texas Wednesday night. The Bulldogs will face top-seeded Old Dominion this evening at 6. Amori Archibald nailed 2 free throws with 11 seconds to play to give Tech a 2-point lead. Florida Atlantic's Carlos Salinas was fouled with less than 2 seconds to play. He nailed the first free throw but missed the second. The Owls' tip-in attempt wasn't even close, allowing the Dogs to move on. FAU led by 16 points early in the second half. Tech led for less than 40 seconds the entire game. The Lady Techsters were eliminated in the opening round of the women's tourney, 55-46 by Charlotte. Brooks Doerr's squad was done in by a 1-for-22 shooting performance in the fourth quarter. The 49ers trailed Tech by 8 entering that final period, but outscored the Techsters 23-6 to advance. LSUS will enter the NAIA tournament as a number 4 seed in the Naismith bracket and will be making their 15th consecutive trip to Kansas City, which is the second longest active streak in the nation. The Pilots' first game is scheduled for next Wednesday at 1:15 in the afternoon, where they will take on 5th-seeded William Jessup University Warriors out of the Golden State Athletic Conference. And finally, 13th-ranked LSU rebounded from Tuesday's loss at Northwestern State to wallop Texas Southern 16-5 at Alec Box. Zach Watson and Antoine Duplantis each homered and drove in 3 runs for the Tigers. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. I'm going to tell you this, and you can't ask a lot of questions.
Okay, good.
This is like one of your anonymous sources that you kind of hint at. You know, folks. And I'm always, every time you do that, just like in the last segment, I go, hold on, somebody called you. What did they tell you? Who was it? I can't tell you. I can't tell you. So I can tell you this.
But I can't tell you this.
I can tell you this, but I can't give you any details.
All right. Hit me.
It's
Throw it down.
This is one of those I don't want to tell you because you're just going to give me so much
I am.
grief. So I got a call.
From who?
From someone.
Male or female?
I got a call yesterday from someone associated with a local periodical.
Okay.
And we'll just leave it at that.
All right.
And they, God, I don't want to tell you now.
The Times, SV Magazine.
I can't tell you.
Exposure Press Tribune.
I'm just telling you, but I can't tell you.
Forum.
Shh.
She's going to run down all 38 of them.
That's fine. They need the advertising. They're
Travel
print.
guide.
So here's the deal. Well, based on my last remark, I think I just killed it.
Yeah, you might have.
So whoever it was that I can't tell you, they asked me, God, I'm get me some emotional Kevlar.
Oh, boy.
Because I am going to get my ass so kicked here by you two. They asked me if their periodical were to do, theoretically, a Shreveport-Bossier top 10
I can't wait.
most eligible bachelors.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang.
Would I be in it?
Oh, man. Wow. What's the publication out at the Glen?
And it wasn't Gary Calligas.
Best of times, eligible bachelors. Robert J. Wright.
Oh, my God.
He still has both hips, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. So you promptly told them no, correct?
I promptly told them I'd think about it.
Oh, dear God.
I said, give me more detail.
Oh, dear God.
Get back to me when it's a definite go and you want a definite answer.
Oh, man.
Give me a ring back.
Oh, gee whiz.
I'm going to let that one go.
Oh, my God.
Yes, because after he has both hips, ladies and gentlemen,
wow.
you had something even meaner to say.
I did, and I'm just going to let it go.
I hope they let the other bachelors hold you up. Like you're laying across and
Maybe
they just hold you up on a platter. Like, here's the old guy. We're going to hold him up.
You're assuming he's the old guy.
Oh, he's got to be.
What if the other one is wheelchair bound and oxygen tank?
Oh, man. No, he'll be the oldest. I promise. I promise.
Somehow questioning that question just didn't pop into my head.
Sensitive,
oh, man.
needy.
Wow, I can't wait to see this.
It's
Gonna be
whatever
like a swimsuit edition too.
whatever publication this is.
Yeah.
Email me. I want to write Robert's little profile.
Oh, please let Matt write it. Matt will do it for free.
I knew I should
Absolutely.
have waited to mention. In fact, I thought about non-mentioning.
Man.
Yeah.
Most eligible bachelors in the
like
ARC. Oh,
top 10 or 20 or
dang. Wow.
I think we just killed
Wow.
it. I think we just killed it.
Oh, my goodness. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Ladies, you won't have to wait long for his fortune.
A replay of our chat yesterday with State Attorney General Jeff Landry is just about 5 or 6 minutes away. Erin talks lottery up next. Her plans are cast in paint.
Yeah.
28 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Local news coming up. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-220's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
KEEL News now.
Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. Man broke into a home of his ex-girlfriend. The suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape the home. However, the suspect still believed to be barricaded inside. Thousands without power this morning, according to SWEPCO. Nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex are without power as a storm system moves through. Matt Snyder, the founder of Crawfest, has decided not to take the city's help after all. Snyder petitioned the city to cover the cost of security, spar, and other hard costs for the for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. On Wednesday, Snyder announced he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. One man clinging to life, 2 others behind bars. Matt Parker has that.
Willie and Marvin Rochelle have been arrested for attempted murder. According to Shreveport police, the shooting happened in the 500 block of Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. The argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. Montgomery's wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Another day, another school is closed due to the flu. Northside Elementary will remain closed today due to the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. The NTSB releases its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. According to the agency, the pilot, Ricky Leonard, was given directions by air traffic control at downtown before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow the given directions once it was in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. Arkansas moves one step closer to enacting the strictest abortion law in the nation. More from Steve Rappaport.
Lawmakers approved a bill banning abortions after 18 weeks of pregnancy, with exceptions for rape and incest. Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson supports the legislation and believes it would survive a court challenge. Pro-choice groups saying the measure is an unconstitutional attempt to undermine Roe v. Wade. Arkansas already bans the procedure after 20 weeks. Other states tried enacting tighter timeframes for getting abortions, but courts blocked those efforts. Other abortion measures advancing in Arkansas include prohibiting doctors from performing abortions solely because of a Down syndrome diagnosis. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Bossier expanding Viking Drive. The project will cost about $10 million, the city covering 20% of the cost. A federal grant covers the rest. Once the project is bid out, it should take about 18 months to complete. Having trouble with Facebook? Well, the social networking site says it's aware of outages that struck its platforms yesterday. They're trying to fix it. The outages affected not only Facebook, but Messenger and Instagram. ABC is bringing back some old-time and popular game shows. Soon you'll be able to watch again Card Sharks, and you remember the Whammy Show? Press Your Luck coming back too. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. And life-threatening. At home.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and future lottery winner Erin McCarty. This weekend it is destined to happen.
Dear God, please.
I did something last night that I'm kind of ashamed to admit, because you do it all the time. I thought about what the first thing I would do is if I won the lottery.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
I know you do.
All the time.
No.
I write charts and stuff.
Stop a second. Oh, yeah, you do spreadsheets.
Yes.
But the point is that you are so insane.
I don't even want to tell you what happened yesterday.
About this lottery stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I can virtually guarantee you, the Shreveport Security System text line is 318-392-1884. I can virtually guarantee you, to probably a 98th, maybe a 99th percentile, that no one else in the throes, in the grip of lottery fever, as you tend to get every week. The point is this: I would bet you that there is no one else on the planet who is so convinced that she's going to win the Powerball, the multi-$100 million Powerball. And when I'm going to say this out loud, you're going to be ashamed, or at least you should be.
Yeah, maybe.
If you guys don't know this, I'm not making this up. Erin has so convinced herself that she's going to win the lottery that she has called real estate agents.
Why did you bring that up? How did you know?
In other cities.
Wait till you... Could I read this text to you? I got a text yesterday. I'm embarrassed. I got a text yesterday from a realtor in Destin, Florida.
That is where you would buy your property.
And he said, Erin, just checking in, seeing if you're still in the market for a condo down this way. I literally got a text yesterday from a realtor.
Why
in
was
Destin.
he texting you?
Because I had inquired about properties that he had listed, I guess.
Based on what?
Winning the Powerball a few months ago, I guess. And I said to this one in particular.
Wait, let's go back a couple of months.
I'm embarrassed to tell this story.
Good thing I brought it up.
I told this man, God, I'm so
awful. You contacted him.
Yes.
In anticipation of being a multi-millionaire.
Yes. Just me alone can't afford a condo in Destin. That's not going to happen in my future. I have to win the Powerball to make this happen. But I told this man, I said, you know what? This was in the fall sometime. I said, right now I'm not, but things may change for me financially after the first of the year. Why don't you give me a call or give me a text in the first quarter, and we'll see where I am. I told him things might change financially for me in the first quarter.
Might change tonight.
It might tomorrow, Saturday night.
Saturday.
Yes. I said, so give me a text or
I
call.
had Wednesday in my head.
I know. I didn't win last night. It's now $495 million for Saturday. Puts it at number 12 on the list of the all-time biggest lottery jackpots.
So the first thing you would do is, other than vanish off the face of the earth.
Yeah, vanish off the face of the earth. New phone.
A new phone? Wait a second.
Yeah.
We're going to break on that. The first thing you would do, if you won $500 million,
yeah, I'd go transfer the numbers that I needed from my phone.
Is get a new telephone?
Oh, yeah.
1017 FM, maybe aim a little higher.
You think?
It's like that Albert Brooks line in broadcast news. What do you do when your dreams come true?
Yeah.
Realize you aimed a little low.
Well, there are a few people I'd still need to call, so I need to get the numbers off my old phone.
1017, just stop. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-220's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. So yesterday a chat with State Attorney General, Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry, and it has to do with the death penalty, and there was a hearing, a conference, a get-together in Baton Rouge a couple of days ago. Specifically, one of the name that was mentioned the most often is Nathaniel Code.
Yes.
Now, he's a Shreveport guy. This goes back to, he was a serial killer.
Yeah, he was.
Back in the 80s.
He killed, 3 members of the Colbert family and a friend who was there.
So you covered this.
Yeah, I was here when this all happened, and it was gruesome. It was
and
brutal.
He's been on death row since what? The first time was 91 or something like that?
Yeah, I think
89?
he got sent down there in 90 or 91, and he's been there 30 years nearly.
Yeah,
and it's just... And he's been one of the ones who has spearheaded the lawsuit to make the temps better on death row.
Well, when we talked to Mr. Jeff Landry yesterday, we started off because there were a couple of articles you had seen and a couple of statements, bluntly speaking, that A.G. Landry had made, which sort of blames Governor John Bel Edwards for the seeming truce in capital punishment in executions. And that was where we kind of started with Mr. Jeff. Do you put this at the feet of Governor Edwards?
He's being intellectually dishonest with the voters and the citizens of the state of Louisiana, and he's being dishonest to victims' families who he has ignored. We have time and time again outlined for the governor different ways and methods that we could get executions to begin being performed again that are well within the constraints of the law. He, number one, will not answer the question as to whether or not he supports the death penalty, and then he uses excuses of hiding behind courts and litigation as to why he will not order his Department of Corrections to make those particular substantive changes to policy to allow the executions to be performed.
You know, the big issue is the drugs. We apparently cannot get the serum that we need, but other states seem to be getting the drugs they need to do it. What are they doing differently? What could we change?
It's a great question, Erin. I mean, when all around the state of Louisiana and Texas and Arkansas and Alabama and Georgia, all of those states are being able to perform executions and grant the victims' families the justice that they so long deserve, right, to putting these monsters away permanently. That's a great question. It's very simple. There are many administrative policy changes that the governor can use. He is flat out being dishonest. So much for Honor Code John Bel Edwards. Again, we have outlined for the governor a multitude of times under which he can do it. Here's the problem, Erin. The governor is required to execute the law. That's his responsibility. If there's a legal impediment for executing that law, he turns to the Attorney General to help him. Number one, to find a solution to a problem, you've got to know whether the other person really wants to solve the problem. If the people of Louisiana could get that answer out of him, it would greatly help me.
Mr. Jeff, yesterday's hearing, you had a lot of testimony, you had a lot of families of victims in Baton Rouge, but did anything substantial come out of it? I don't mean to say was it just a show, but you see what I'm saying, right?
Oh, yeah, look, absolutely. The print media, the liberal media in Louisiana is trying to trump this up as basically a circus. It was not. We had a very substantial conversation, a good intro into what the problems are, and we've already heard from legislators who are interested in trying to solve this problem if the governor will not. They certainly would appreciate the governor doing his job, which would make it easier on them, meaning not having to have to institute law in order to make administrative changes, but they are very interested in bringing justice to these victims' families.
So what kind of legislation might be proposed, and how does say theoretically, the Attorney General of Louisiana assist them in that matter?
Well, what we would do is provide them with legal guidance. We actually did that to the governor as well, and he remained silent. Back in June when we sent the letter to him, we attached to that letter draft legislation that could be passed and signed into law that would allow the executions to begin being performed again. That's one step. And there are a number of other steps. I think many legislators are interested in basically the first step is keeping confidential the identity of the drug manufacturers and the drug protocol and the pharmacists who may compound the drugs. That's a similar step that Arkansas took just this week. The Senate in Arkansas passed, I think, by 28-6, a very similar type of law. That would be a great first step for us in Louisiana.
Jeff Landry, let me ask you this. A lot of this criticism is heaped upon the governor. I heard some mention yesterday about the governor sent to Secretary LeBlanc and Corrections, a memorandum to not order the drug or something like. Can you give me specific things the governor has done to stop us from moving forward? Specific examples.
Well, I'll give you a specific example. Number one, when I became the Attorney General and we walked through this suit with the Department of Corrections, we initially agreed to a 1-year stay. They agreed to start working with us. We've got an email chain that says that. And then they went radio silent. And then in the dark of night, they agreed with the court to an additional 1-year stay after that 1 year had expired. We then sent a letter to the governor directly explaining to him how we could get the process started again. Again, no word from the governor except excuses. Look, there's plenty of times when the blame belongs on me or on someone else. This governor refuses to take responsibility when the blame belongs on him. This is a very simple process for him, Erin. It's not difficult. If he would simply order his Department of Corrections to work with the Attorney General's office to begin these executions, we could bring justice to these families. Look, if you watched the hearings yesterday, you saw the tear-jerking reactions. And look, what we had was a very diverse group of people who are looking for justice in very sad stories. And if we don't have the death penalty, if we have the death penalty and we're not going to utilize it, he is absolutely doing a disservice to the many prosecutors who are out there trying to bring justice, also while endangering police officers. Let's talk about the danger to law enforcement officers out there. Because guess what? If criminals know, because that's one thing, the ability to, if you shoot a police officer, that is one of those cases under which you can be tried and convicted of the death penalty, right? And sentenced to death. Well, if you take that away, if a person goes out and shoots a few people, okay, and then he goes and he flees, what stops him from shooting the cop? I mean, he's already getting life in prison.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Fletcher, and sports just ahead. Right now, traffic. Here's Ruben.
Everything's looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on 3132 eastbound near I-49. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
KEEL Sports Time. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Louisiana Tech moseyed into the quarterfinals of the Conference USA men's tournament with a 57-56 win over Florida Atlantic and Frisco, Texas Wednesday night. The Bulldogs will face top-seeded Old Dominion this evening at 6. Amori Archibald nailed 2 free throws with 11 seconds to play to give Tech a 2-point lead. Florida Atlantic's Carlos Salinas was fouled with less than 2 seconds to play. He nailed the first free throw but missed the second. The Owls' tip-in attempt wasn't even close, allowing the Dogs to move on. FAU led by 16 points early in the second half. Tech led for less than 40 seconds the entire game. The Lady Texters were eliminated in the opening round of the women's tourney, 55-46 by Charlotte. Brooks Dora's squad was done in by a 1-for-22 shooting performance in the fourth quarter. The 49ers trailed Tech by 8 entering that final period, but outscored the Texters 23-6 to advance. LSUS will enter the NAIA tournament as a number 4 seed in the Naismith bracket and will be making their 15th consecutive trip to Kansas City, which is the second longest active streak in the nation. The Pilots' first game is scheduled for next Wednesday at 1:15 in the afternoon, where they will take on 5th-seeded William Jessup University Warriors out of the Golden State Athletic Conference. And finally, 13th-ranked LSU rebounded from Tuesday's loss at Northwestern State to wallop Texas Southern 16-5 at Alec Box. Zach Watson and Antoine Duplantis each homered and drove in 3 runs for the Tigers. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright, teeth moved. God, I had such a strange dream last night. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Holy, no. Where you don't remember what you dream, but then something happens in the day, a word or something happens, or your mind flashes and the whole dream comes back. Okay, here's what. Wow.
No.
You never do that?
No.
Okay, so I didn't remember having this dream until the following happened. I started to say my name, Robert J. Wright, and my tongue kind of slipped, and I was gonna do the joke, I've got to get new teeth. And that reminded me of the dream last night.
Wow.
No, this is so weird. In the dream I had last night, my brother Hal and I were at Panera Bread on Uri Drive having coffee, and he was talking, and his teeth moved, and he said, "Man, I've got to get my own teeth. Wearing Dad's, they just don't fit." Because my dad had false teeth. Okay, now wait. So I'm thinking in the dream, this is creepy. This is weird. Why are you wearing Dad's teeth? Right?
Yeah.
Because my dad hated the dentist. My dad had horrible teeth. He was losing his teeth when I was a kid because he just didn't go. I mean, he had false teeth forever, right? And so in the dream, my brother, who has all his teeth, except for the softball mishap. I had nothing to do with that.
Of course you didn't.
But he's got my dad's false teeth, and he makes the remark, "I've got to get my own false teeth." So then the check comes, and I go to sign the check, and I sign the check in my dad's handwriting.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's wild. No doubt.
So that was the dream last night, and it all just came flashing back when I mispronounced my own name.
Thanks to your teeth.
And was going to do a false tooth joke. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
Last week, Georgia's House of Representatives passed a bill to ban abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected. That typically happens at 6 weeks of pregnancy. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Democrat State Representative Darshun Kendrick was so ticked off by the heartbeat bill that she announced her own legislation called the Testicular Bill of Rights. If it ever became law, Georgia men would need permission from their sex partners to obtain erectile dysfunction Viagra, for those of you in Rio Linda. There would be a 24-hour waiting period before men could buy porn or sex toys, and men would not be allowed to have vasectomies. Under Representative Kendrick's bill, when a woman is 6 weeks pregnant, A mandatory DNA test would determine paternity. The father would be required to pay child support immediately. The Testicular Bill of Rights would also make it a crime for a man to have sex without a condom, which raises the question, how would women get pregnant in the first place? I digress there. Darshan says that her bill is real. She will introduce it next month. Now, I, for one, hope that she has the testicular fortitude to follow through, because I want to see where this thing would end up. And I want to talk about it when it gets there.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. It's the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Looks like I-220's got it all clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Hernia check. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Weather Channel forecast, cloudy and rainy again today. We could hit about 70 degrees.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 101.7 FM, Shreveport.
You know what happens as soon as I tell somebody that I never get a cold or the flu? You know what happens?
You get it.
I get a cold or the flu.
Absolutely.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, just after 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, she has local news next.
Big storms roar through early today, knocking out power to some. A standoff in Caddo Parish. We'll have an update on that. And the organizer of Crawfest says thanks, but no thanks.
The organizer of Crawfest joins us in the second half hour of this hour.
Mm-hmm.
Just around 7:35 to 7:40. Matt Snyder, stand by. And something at the City Council meeting on Tuesday we neglected to bring up yesterday that directly involves Ms. McCarty. That is in the first segment. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. A man broke into the home of his ex-girlfriend. The suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man twice, once in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape. However, the suspect still believed to be barricaded inside that home. Big storms roar through, leaving several folks without power. SWEPCO says nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex without power this morning. Matt Snyder, the founder of Crawfest, decides not to take the city's help after all. He petitioned the city council to cover the costs of security, spar, and other hard costs for his for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. Wednesday, Snyder announced he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. One man clings to life, 2 others locked up. Willie and Marvin Rochelle arrested for attempted murder. According to police, the shooting happened on Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. That argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. Montgomery's wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. Could the death penalty be coming to an end in Louisiana? Matt Parker takes a look.
With the debate over the death penalty in Louisiana raging, State Senator Dan Claytor plans to file a bill abolishing the death penalty in the state. The Baton Rouge Republican says that the death penalty simply doesn't work and is morally wrong. Claytor and the bill's co-author Terry Landry have both failed in previous efforts to get rid of the death penalty in Louisiana. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Northside Elementary School closed today due to the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. The NTSB has released its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. Pilot Ricky Leonard was apparently given directions by air traffic control at the downtown airport before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow the given directions once in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. Bossier planning to expand Viking Drive. The project, estimated to cost $10 million. The city will cover 20% of the cost, a federal grant covering the rest. Once the project is bid out, should take about 18 months to complete. There's concern that processors who sell pre-peeled crawfish meat won't have enough foreign workers to peel all the crawfish on the market. Only 33,000 visas are made available every 6 months, and Farm Bureau Policy Coordinator Brian Breaux says around 100,000 applicants generally pursue the economically vital manual laborers.
you have basically a less than a 1 out of 3 chance that your visa will be filled. And so it's very hard to run a business when you can't fill those job positions with local workers.
Rose says that means large amounts of the crawfish crop potentially could be thrown out. Speaking of tails, looks like the feds are on Facebook's tail. The New York Times reports federal prosecutors staging a criminal probe into Facebook's data deals with major electronics makers. A global company has studied the best cities in the world to live in. No U.S. city makes the top 10. At number 1 is Vienna, Austria. Zurich is number 2. Auckland, Vancouver, and Munich are in the top 5. The U.S. shut out of the top 10 San Francisco, the first U.S. city on the list, at number 34. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.7 FM 710 KEEL traffic time. Ruben's here.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
A cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.7 FM 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Speaking of downloading the app, update on the ticket giveaway.
Absolutely. We'll be giving away foreigner tickets.
Wait. Foreigner.
Foreigner.
You said foreigner.
Foreigner. Foreigner tickets, yeah.
My favorite band, Foreigner.
Yeah, Foreigner tickets.
Farner.
Beginning Monday, all you need to do is download the KEEL app on your smartphone or your smart device and turn on the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, we'll send out the first notification saying, here's the form to enter. Simple, just fill out a couple things, and then we'll be announcing the first winner on Tuesday morning.
So if you have not yet downloaded the KEEL app, do so. Be sure you get the notifications. There's the little clicker thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean.
And you're going to want those because we'll let you know on those notifications. We're not going to bombard you with stuff. We're going to send you things that are important in the local community, like when we're having special guests on the air, that kind of thing.
And if you already have the KEEL app downloaded and you have not activated the little push notification thing,
go in there and turn on the notifications.
Because that makes you eligible also.
Yeah, and you can turn those off after the contest.
It's not just for new downloadees.
No. It's anyone who's got the app downloaded on your smart device. You'll be eligible.
I said as you were, as it were.
Yeah.
But now that I said it, as you were.
Yeah, exactly.
You brought up on Monday, and I just wondered, yesterday we forgot to discuss, because there was so much other stuff. In fact, the running theme of the show yesterday was, there's too much, we'll never get to it all.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we proved ourselves inept because we didn't.
Right.
The point is this: did anything come up at the city council meeting on Tuesday pertaining to or related to your email to the city about the Lake Street thing being closed for more than coming up on 4 years?
Well, that ordinance is on 2 readings, so it's got to sit over for another 2 weeks.
Pardon me just a second. If you weren't here on Monday and got the gist, got the background on this, everybody knows that Lake Street between the Clyde Fant Parkway and Spring is closed.
Mm-hmm.
It's been closed since January of
2014.
Of
2015.
2015.
Yes.
The original plan was
a 2-year deal, and then they're going to reopen it, and it'll be a no-blow zone and all that. Let me explain you the no-blow zone.
And explain what the original plan was.
Right.
And how it has how the cost of it has just gotten totally out of hand.
The Holiday Inn, which sits there at Spring and Lake, had lost its brand, so it was no longer a Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn had kind of said, this is not the place for us.
Right.
They backed out.
Yeah, we're the property's not up to Holiday Inn standards.
There was a stretch there where it was sort of hotel generic.
It was Gen X Hotel, yeah. And part of the problem was all the train noises were driving people away. They were driving them to other hotels. And meetings were getting disrupted because of the horn blowing of the train. So Holiday Inn went to the city and said, look, we want Holiday Inn to be back in this market, but one of the things which is a deal breaker for us is all the train sounds. So we have to do something to get rid of the horns blowing. Can you help us? City started negotiating with Union Pacific and with the DOTD and all the folks involved, and they said, you know what, if we put in crossing arms, full crossing arms that block the entire roadway, not the kind you can zigzag through.
There are a kind of crossing arm, that come down and block the tracks.
Right.
There are a kind that are mandated by the DOTD that if you put those in, then the trains don't have to go crazy.
Right. It can become then a no-blow zone.
Right.
So the trains can zip through there without blowing their horns. Holiday Inn said, that's great. We'll start setting aside some money to help pay for it. The city said, that's great. We'll set some money.
So the original cost, if I was right, was about $725,000 to
$700,000.
Okay, so Holiday Inn
City's going to pay a third.
Yeah.
Holiday Inn's going to pay a third. And the railroad DOTD combination pay a third.
So the city said they'd put up the money.
Yep.
Holiday Inn said they'd put up the money. And then DOTD, et cetera, was going to cover the last part of it.
That was what we were told at the time. And I went back to the minutes from October of 2014, and I read, I don't even want to tell you how much I read on this. It was ridiculous. All of them came before the city council. Here's the plan. This will solve the problem. You had people from the Times, from other businesses along Lake Street going, this is going to be a burden for us.
But it's only 2 years.
Yeah, but if it's 18 months to 2 years, okay, if you got to do it, you got to do it.
So they closed Lake Street.
Closed Lake Street.
To start work there to put in the...
Yeah, put in those crossing arms, make it a no-blow zone.
January of 2015.
Uh-huh.
And it originally was supposed to be...
2 years.
What happened?
Well, nothing. There's no crossing arms. The road's still closed. The way you look at it now, it's overgrown. It looks like it's closed forever. I just drove through there 2 days ago, and I thought, man, they're never
Well, you drove up to it and had to stop.
They're never going to reopen this. Well, what's happened is the ordinance that closed the road has expired. So now it's like tweet or get off the branch. That ordinance has expired. You either got to close the road continually or you got to do something. So now we go back to let's go ahead and move forward with the cross. This new council said, well, we promised crossing arms. Let's go. Let's move. Well, you got a little bit of a problem.
What's that?
The crossing arms now will cost $1.8 million.
Wait.
They went from $700,000 4 years ago
to nearly $2 million.
$1.8 million plus $60,000 a year to maintain it. And nobody has signed on to do any of that right
Look,
now.
if you're Holiday Inn, you're back in your hotel.
Mhm.
You've got what you want. There's no crossing there anymore, so the trains don't blow their horns, right?
Right.
So why would they? What motivates Holiday Inn to put up any money as they originally promised they'd do?
Well, they were putting a fund. They were putting money in like an escrow account.
Yeah.
And they were leaving it alone.
But they got what they want for free.
Yeah, but what if the city says we're going to reopen it? We're going to reopen Lake Street.
Why? How have we managed to go 48 plus months and
nobody's screaming and hollering
and no work gets started
and nothing's done?
Yeah, other than it's closed.
The road's closed,
and now it looks like forever.
Yeah.
Like Lake Street, it just stops here and starts over there.
And what hurts me the most about this, and I've never been on the board, I'm not interested in being on the board. What is at the corner of Lake Street and the Clyde Fant
This is
Parkway?
a hell of a point you made a couple of times.
It is Cyport. What's been struggling the last 4 years? Cyport. Folks come off that interstate right there at Lake Street, and a lot of them will turn right to go to the riverfront. Well, guess what they will see? One of our community's jewels, Cyport. Well, guess what they can't do now? Turn on Lake Street. So it never gets seen by thousands and thousands of people who might say, you know what, I'm going to come back and bring the kids next
I've
time.
got an idea here. We got to go to break. I have an idea here. We need to start a campaign. You ready?
Yeah.
I can see the bumper stickers now.
Yeah.
Overpass by 2050. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Yes'm.
Matt Snyder with Crawfest is joining us at 7:40. He's had a little change of heart.
Any word back from the sheriff on?
I'm waiting for the high
okay,
sheriff.
we'll talk about that during the
Yeah.
talk about that during the break. If not, if you don't know the story, we'll cover that during the next segment too. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on North Spring Street near East Stoner Avenue, and we're starting to see some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline at 687-ROAD.
A cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
.17 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Fletch. Here's sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Louisiana Tech moseyed into the quarterfinals of the Conference USA men's tournament with a 57-56 win over Florida Atlantic and Frisco, Texas Wednesday night. The Bulldogs will face top-seeded Old Dominion this evening at 6. Amori Archibald nailed 2 free throws with 11 seconds to play to give Tech a 2-point lead. Florida Atlantic's Carlos Salinas was fouled with less than 2 seconds to play. He nailed the first free throw but missed the second. The Owls' tip-in attempt wasn't even close, allowing the Dogs to move on. FAU led by 16 points early in the second half. Tech led for less than 40 seconds the entire game. The Lady Techsters were eliminated in the opening round of the women's tourney, 55-46 by Charlotte. Brooks Doer's squad was done in by a 1-for-22 shooting performance in the fourth quarter. The 49ers trailed Tech by 8 entering that final period, but outscored the Techsters 23-6 to advance. LSUS will enter the NAIA tournament as a number 4 seed in the Naismith bracket and will be making their 15th consecutive trip to Kansas City, which is the second longest active streak in the nation. The Pilots' first game is scheduled for next Wednesday at 1:15 in the afternoon, where they will take on 5th-seeded William Jessup University Warriors out of the Golden State Athletic Conference. And finally, 13th-ranked LSU rebounded from Tuesday's loss at Northwestern State to wallop Texas Southern 16-5 at Alec Box. Zach Watson and Antoine Duplantis each homered and drove in 3 runs for the Tigers. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
What? You're humming over there.
I am.
You're throwing off the star of the show, and McCarty's not standing for it. 101.7 FM, nothing. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, you have been efforting for about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a little longer, to track down Caddo Sheriff Steve Prater. What's going on? Why? What would he be telling us?
Well, there's been a standoff in the Keithville area. I'm not exactly sure. Matt may know exactly when this started.
Parkey?
It started last night around sometime after 10 o'clock, I believe.
So what are details?
A man breaks into the home of his ex-girlfriend.
Excuse me just a second.
Out there on the Spring Ridge Road.
Okay, when you say
Texas State Line
Road. That
was
what I was going to ask. How far going south is that?
Yeah, in the Keithville area. When he broke in, he confronted the woman and a man she's living with. He also has she also has her 2 children living there with her. I believe they're 12 and 14.
Marky.
And the man apparently fired shots, hitting the other man in the home at least once in the backside, and I'm told hitting the wrist as well.
Now, are they all still inside? Is the guy who was shot?
I'm getting there.
Okay, go ahead.
There are reports that he tied up some members of the family, but when the sheriff's office arrived, he went outside and started shooting at the deputies, and that's when the woman and the kids were able to escape. And then he hit a patrol car. No deputies were hit. And then he ran back into the home, and they believe he's still holed up in that home now, or a nearby home, because he lives nearby. So
they released the fella's name. His name's James Salon. And
spell that for me.
Salon.
Okay.
E. Mm-hmm. And apparently the sheriffs went into the home in question around 3:30 or 4 this morning. This is a new update.
Okay.
And he was not there, so they're searching for this James fella high and low to see where he may have ran off to.
Okay, good. Well, the kids are okay. The ex-girlfriend's okay. One man was taken to the hospital. I believe he's going to be okay, non-life-threatening wounds. And we do believe that one patrol car was hit in the gunfire. Did deputies shoot back at him? I would assume so.
I do not see any reports of gunfire from the deputy side.
You know, knowing a couple of local policemen, Shreveport guys, it's surprising to me, because I don't know what the MO is under those circumstances, but it's constantly amazing to me, and I can only assume it's because they don't want to endanger innocent people involved.
Right.
But it's always amazing to me the number of times that people shoot at police and they don't return fire.
You're right about that. You're right about that because they're fearful of hurting an
I mean,
innocent
I don't know.
bystander.
Like I said, I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know what the rules are. But if you gave me a couple of minutes, I could come up with 2 or 3 situations just in the last, say, 120, 180 days or so.
Right.
Where people fired at police and they didn't return fire for whatever reason.
And I can give you numerous examples of cases like this where we have had dead people. We've had a suspect go in and kill his ex-girlfriend, kill a child, fire at deputies and wound a deputy.
But only
so
one
right
wounded
now,
here, so he's at large.
So right now it looks like we only have one person wounded. He's going to recover, and they're looking for the suspect now.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Coming up just a little bit, about 10 or 15 minutes, is Matt Snyder, Crawfest guy, discussing in detail. I want the money. No, I don't want the money. We'll have him narrow that down for us. Traffic update news just ahead, by the way. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Linwood Avenue and Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on that minor accident on Uri Drive near Carroll Street. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
Information. KEEL News now.
Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. Man broke into a home of his ex-girlfriend. Suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape the home. However, the suspect still believed to be barricaded inside. Thousands without power this morning, according to SWEPCO. Nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex are without power as a storm system moves through. Matt Snyder, the founder of Crawfest, has decided not to take the city's help after all. Snyder petitioned the city to cover the cost of security, spar, and other hard costs for the for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. On Wednesday, Snyder announced he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. One man clinging to life, 2 others behind bars. Matt Parker has that.
Willie and Marvin Rochelle have been arrested for attempted murder. According to Shreveport police, the shooting happened in the 500 block of Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. The argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. Montgomery's wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Another day, another school is closed due to the flu. Northside Elementary will remain closed today due to the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. The NTSB releases its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. According to the agency, the pilot, Ricky Leonard, was given directions by air traffic control at downtown before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow the given directions once it was in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. Arkansas moves one step closer to enacting the strictest abortion law in the nation. More from Steve Rappaport.
Lawmakers approved a bill banning abortions after 18 weeks of pregnancy, with exceptions for rape and incest. Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson supports the legislation and believes it would survive a court challenge. Pro-choice groups saying the measure is an unconstitutional attempt to undermine Roe v. Wade. Arkansas already bans the procedure after 20 weeks. Other states tried enacting tighter timeframes for getting abortions, but courts blocked those efforts. Other abortion measures advancing in Arkansas include prohibiting doctors from performing abortions solely because of a Down syndrome diagnosis. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Bossier expanding Viking Drive. The project will cost about $10 million, the city covering 20% of the cost. A federal grant covers the rest. Once the project is bid out, it should take about 18 months to complete. Having trouble with Facebook? Well, the social networking site says it's aware of outages that struck its platforms yesterday. They're trying to fix it. The outages affected not only Facebook, but Messenger and Instagram. ABC is bringing back some old-time and popular game shows. Soon you'll be able to watch again Card Sharks, and you remember the Whammy Show? Press Your Luck coming back too. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. Let's talk food for a second. We had the commercial that Diamond Jack's had a couple of seconds ago on terrestrial, and it was crawfish is back. You know what somebody said to me the other day?
What?
Crawfish is crack. I said, what?
Really?
Well, she went out to buy crawfish the other day, and it cooked was like she couldn't find it less than like $6 a pound or something.
Oh, it's everywhere for $4.99 and $5.99.
Okay, so that's $6. I just said $6. You say $5.99.
Well, you can find it for $4.99.
That's still $5. That's still
I know,
high,
you
right?
can get ribeyes for that.
So, what to you is the acceptable price if you're going to go out and buy it? If what can
$4.99 is okay for boiled crawfish. Yeah, it's not bad. I'd rather at $3.99. We'll see. You every now and then you'll have like one of the grocery stores will have a special, and they'll drop it to $3.99. But you have to watch and you have to call ahead. I mean, I research these prices every week, so I know what everybody's doing.
$4.99 seems a little.
Some of these little crawfish huts have them cheaper. On the weekend they'll run a special, and you got to catch it on time, and you got to be there when they serve them because they run out.
What can you eat in a sitting, just you personally alone, like 6-7 pounds?
I can do 5.
Can you?
Yeah, I usually order 3 and then order 2 more because I want them to be hot.
So it's like 20. That's like 25 or 30.
That's expensive. It's an expensive meal. Yeah, it really is. And but they're so good. But I when I look at people who go, y'all pay that much and then you peel them? What is wrong with y'all? Y'all are nuts. You pay that much for that? And
anyone who would
you're
be
not even
critical,
eating 2/3 of the pounds.
Anyone who would be critical of anyone who would peel crawfish and eat them, anyone who would be critical of that activity would never use the term y'all.
Yeah, you're right.
Happy National Pie Day. I guess it's Pie Day. Do you have any idea what pie, P-I?
Yeah, it's that math thing.
Can you define?
5.16, or is that a Bible verse? I'm not sure. I get them mixed up.
Yeah, it's John 3:16.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
It's James 5:16, isn't it?
So is I was going to ask you if you can, if there's any chance of you defining pie.
Oh, come on, Robert.
You have a college degree.
Me defining pie?
You have a college degree. You are learned. You are educated. You have proven that you have what it takes.
You know,
You're a
the
professional
only
woman.
math I'm good at is getting out a protractor. That's the only math I'm good at, is getting it
Stabbing
out.
yourself in the leg.
Exactly.
Parky, any idea what is pi?
Well, it's the 16th letter of the Greek alphabet.
Oh, you just Googled everything. Yeah, but that's not where it comes
But
from.
it also has to do with the circumference of a circle and 3.14.
Pi is
like eating a pie.
Pi
Does
is
it have meringue?
It's a mathematical constant. You know what a circumference is, right?
Of course, that's the width of a circle.
It's around.
Around, right, yeah.
You know what a diameter is, right?
Diameter is the how you measure from one side of a circle to the other.
Diameter is from the edge of a circle to the middle. So you're 0 for 2.
I thought it was all the way across.
No. Pi is the ratio of the circumference to the
Oh, stop. My head's going to explode.
Okay, never
Stop.
mind. But it's 3.14159.
3.14159. Thank you. I
Blah,
was
blah,
close.
Blah, 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 blah.
God bless you.
So a lot of local businesses are celebrating Pi Day.
Okay.
With pizzas or any sort of regular pie.
Is there free pie somewhere?
Not free, but it'll
Okay.
be $3.14.
I like that. That's good. I like free pie day better. I'll be there. I'll bring my circumference for that.
Happy. Might take a couple of trips. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. On a serious note, Crawfest guy, see crawfish.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Snyder joins us in just a couple of seconds talking about his dealings with the city council, social media, and backlash. Right now, here's Ruben.
The intersection at Linwood Avenue and Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we're still keeping an eye on that minor accident on Uri Drive near Carroll Street. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Matt Snyder is the sort of owner, organizer, CEO, president, etc. of
Head cheese
of Crawfest. Hey, Mr. Matt, welcome to Keel. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Well, quite. You find yourself at the center of sort of a storm the last few days. Let's start there. Are you kind of surprised at the way you have just all the way this has sort of blown up over the last 72 hours?
Absolutely.
Matt, how did it start? Did the city come to you and go, "Can we help you"? Did you go to the city? You're asking for assistance with your festival, Crawfest, which you hold in Betty, Virginia Park. How did it come up?
Well, we've been doing, events for 5 years now, We've never gone to the city for any assistance, and we planned a meeting to talk about the events as they're growing so quickly. And we had set a meeting, and they said, well, hey, these are the things we can do for you. There are events in town with. Let's build something to help the festival and to help the citizens who go to the festival.
Who suggested that? Was it the mayor? Was it Shelley Regal? Who suggested help?
I think we had a meeting with Shelley Regal, and that's what came out of it.
Okay.
So she said to you, Matt, now that you're here, we have an awesome idea. We'd like to give you services for free. That's what you're saying?
Robert, what was talked about was the festival and the size of it and the issues that have came up. And so we started talking about, and I'm not a rookie to this. I've been involved with a lot of other events and witnessed what the city can do to help events. And so we've seen the assistance that other events get. And as we expected Crawfest to have 2,000, 3,000 people maybe. Last year we had over 10,000 people. The strain on the neighborhood, the strain on the park is intense. And we want to grow it. I always tell people I'm not going to be done until the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing in Betty, Virginia Park. And everyone laughs. But I'm not going to be done until the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing in Betty, Virginia Park. And that's going to take all of us coming together to make it happen.
So the resolution goes before the city council. They debated it for a little bit, but then they approved it with some stipulations that you pay the money back. And then all hell broke loose, right?
So the big thing was there was no discussion. Shelley, I kept saying, hey, do I need to call the city councilman and discuss what we're looking at here? Do I need to be prepared to be at the meeting? The answer was always no. No, I'm going to take this up. This is a resolution from SPAR. And that's what I was told. And then the first I heard of anything to do with this resolution was on y'all's show, was when Levette said, my friend Matt Snyder is going to be upset with me, or whatever she said. Mm-hmm. My phone started blowing up, and that's the first I ever heard of anything.
I'm told that Shelley Regal did not suggest help. Shelley Regal did not suggest the city helping you.
Well, I mean, we had a meeting and we talked about it, and Shelley Regal put the plan together. So, I mean, I didn't make the resolution, Erin. So,
did you ask? Did you say, is there anything you can do for me to help?
Of course. Of course we said, hey, let me give you an example. The police, which is the city's requirement, our police bill went from $1,300 to over $5,000. We're trying to build an event that brings people to Shreveport. Of course we said, what can the city do to help, as they're helping other events all the time? Of course.
Well, helping a for-profit event is where a lot of people have an issue.
Event, Erin. It's a free event. There are events that I could name a list of events. The only spot that we even have a chance to recoup our money is through sponsorships and selling drinks. Events that are under the nonprofit clause or whatever, you hand out with no bidding process, nothing, their concessions. Just hand them to people. They have no skin in the game. There's nothing to do with anything. They get assistance from the city, big assistance, and then they hand to whoever they want the concessions for that person to make any money they want to make.
Name some events.
Well, how about KTBS fireworks show that was right before us on the docket that got over $40,000 of listed things? Who's going to sell their concessions? Does anybody know? Did anybody ask?
The KTBS folks will say the city gets a lot in return for that. They get a lot of publicity. They got a lot of TV time for that.
And we'll say that we give a lot back too. I mean, we give a
such as what do you give? What did you give back to the city last year?
We brought an event that brought 10,000 people to the park, the most people that have ever been in the park. We're creating a new event.
That's not you. That's not you. Well, KTBS brought 200,000 people to the riverfront.
Yes, and I'm not saying that anyone should get less assistance or not get assistance. I think the city has to find a way to manage their assistance for events across the board. I think everyone, I mean, you're talking about y'all's GeekCon. GeekCon is a great example of a new event that's a success.
Mm-hmm.
It should get help. It should be assisted. We have to come up with a way to judge events on their success and help events grow. The problem is we have a lot of events in this town that are not growing, that are not expanding, and are still getting a ton of assistance. There's also a problem with events getting assistance just because they're a nonprofit and having salaries and overhead that is never checked.
The amount of services that the city was offering to you that you initially accepted was valued, I would say, somewhere in the range of about $20,000. Were these services offered by the city? Is it something that you could use, or was it something that you really needed? And I mention that because I think you said to the city council, hey, I could lose my house if this thing doesn't fly.
The resolution was built around numbers and why, and let me be clear why we're not accepting it. We're not accepting it because the numbers on the resolution are not the true numbers. The numbers on the resolution is not what it's going to truly cost to get it done.
Explain.
The most unfortunate part is we needed help with tables, chairs, barricades. And really the barricade situation is for the safety of people. We needed help with shuttles to help with the parking situation in Bay, Virginia.
Well,
and we're not going to get that.
I know I'm getting this wrong, so correct me. What you're saying is you turned it.
There was no
you're not telling.
The story was put out that Matt got $20,000 from the city, which is in zero way true.
Right.
There is no way that is correct in any manner, in any way you can spin it. I didn't go ask for money, and I didn't receive money.
But do you see the point, Matt? If it's $20,000, you don't have to spend. It's $20,000 in your profits that you get to put in your pocket. I mean, do you see that logic?
Aaron, it's a free event. It's a free event. Okay?
But you make money off of it. You said $6,000 or $8,000 last year on the event, correct?
We did.
And you're anticipating making, I guess, double that this year since it's a 2-day event.
No, I would say we have tripled our budget. We are trying to grow an event that's truly important across the region. Every year we've grown our event on top of itself. And with that growth, we have run up against, we are willing to put our money back into the event. That's why we did not form a nonprofit. We don't want to pay ourselves salaries. We don't want to take money out of the event. Our goal is to create things that bring young people back to Shreveport. That's our goal. That's always been our goal, and it still is our goal.
So if your goal is to not make money, why didn't you set it up as a
nonprofit?
nonprofit?
I did not to make money. Why? Do y'all crucify every nonprofit that pays themselves a salary?
No, I'm just asking you to clarify what you just said.
Our goal is to bring young people back to Shreveport is what I said.
We love that, Matt. We really do.
That's what I said. Not that I don't want to ever make money. Not that I'm trying to take $20,000 from the city. I didn't say any of that.
So,
and none of that's true, Robert.
Did you
Grant and all of us for a long time, and you know that's not true.
Did you go back to the city after they passed this and try to renegotiate and say, look, I really don't need to. Let's meet halfway here. Just give me the tables for free. Were you willing to do some sort of compromise, and was that shot down?
Yeah, I said, look, guys, this is crazy. I really need the barricade. To be perfectly honest with you, last year we had a situation where there were so many people in the park that kids were getting separated from their parents, and I was having kids and I was stopping bands trying to find kids' parents almost like constantly. And so I said, we really need the barricades. Can we just cut all this, forget about all this, and just let me borrow the barricade?
And why wouldn't they do that?
The deal was put, and I mean, I think the biggest learning lesson here was to have a plan before you go to city council. If we would have discussed all this, there would have been a great resolution, I'm sure. But the problem is when you try to negotiate in front of city council, the deal was not doable. There's no guidelines. This has never been suggested or done before, ever. So when you start looking at it, there was no way to judge this. There was no way to hold anybody accountable. There were so many gray area questions of how this was going to be done. You couldn't do it.
So at the end of
so
the day,
when I said,
pardon me,
hey,
Matt,
can we just take the in-kind part and borrow the barricade? The deal was it's an all-or-nothing situation.
Running short on
So,
time
then
here.
we're not going to be able to take anything.
At the end of the day, you said no. You said, I don't want the help. I don't want the services from the city because you've gotten so much negative publicity, because you don't need it, because it's too big a hassle.
All of the above.
In about 15 seconds, sum it up for us.
I mean, yeah, Aaron, you're probably right. All of it. But I mean, like the headache. The only thing I would say about the backlash and all that is the frustration there is that it was reported horribly. I never went to the city and asked for money. They never offered to give me money. No one offered to write me a check for anything, or no one was ever asked to do that. That's the most frustrating part. And we didn't turn it down for that. We turned it down because there's no way to do this in a sensible way in the way it was presented. And like everything, we're going to continue to try to grow great events in our city. And that's the point. The point was for the city to help with shuttles and parking and barricades and things that we need a little assistance on as we grow. We are crippling our budget from last year. The first year we spent $3,000 on music budget. The second year we spent $7,000. This year we're spending over $28,000 to bring amazing regional and national talent to the park. And the people of our community have responded. And they have shown a need for these kind of events.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still on,
We
right?
wanted to build an event
you're still
that
a
people
go.
would come out and help and see and sit and talk and be together in our community.
You're still
and
a
that's
go.
what we built.
We got to go, man. Just one quick. You're still a go. Everything's 100% on, and you're feeling like this will be your best event ever.
We'll see.
Well, if you lose your house, Matt, I got a guest room.
Thanks, Aaron. I got 5 kids. It's gonna be,
Never mind, Matt. Never mind.
So,
Thanks for your time, Matt Snyder.
please
Appreciate it.
clarify, we didn't ask for any money to be given to us from the city, and we're not looking for money.
Gotcha. Thank you, Matt.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident backing up traffic on Walker Road near 3132. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
These people and their track records are atrocious. They're political. Weissman is at the victory party of Hillary on election night. They are not objective, fair prosecutors. But I'm beginning to wonder, because people that say they know Mueller, he has an incredible life background and experience, Marine, Semper Fi, served his country, went into private practice, hated it, went back to being like a DA again. because he loves it. And I love law enforcement people. I wonder if there's some people that tell me I'm wrong about him. Well, I don't think I am. I wonder if he has paid attention to all of this abuse of power. I wonder if his fidelity to the law is real.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Coming soon. Talk.
.107 FM, 710 Keel, Fox News. Next, here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on that major accident on Walker Road just under the overpass of 3132. And we have another major accident on I-49 northbound just north of 3132. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin, local news is just a couple of seconds away.
Standoff with deputies is over, but they're still searching for a suspect. The founder of Crawfest is now turning down help from the city. We'll have more on that. And one man clings to life, 2 others behind bars after a shooting.
Sharika Fields-Jones, she is the city of Shreveport's newest chief administrative officer. She joins us in just a couple of minutes to talk about what the heck do you do all day?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck do you do all day? Is there time for a nap? Do you get a 4-hour lunch?
Yeah.
Or do you
how
work
big's the piggy bank for the reserve?
Is it a 90-hour week? Fletcher's got sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL. Robert J. right here once again for Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue. There are times in life, fellers, there are times in life when the only thing that will work, if you know what I mean, is jewelry. And if you're going to go with jewelry, you got to go with the best jewelry, and that's why I'm talking about Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue. If you're getting engaged, maybe for an anniversary, a special birthday, or you just want to show her how much you care for her, Louisiana Coin and Jewelry is your one-stop shop. The area's best prices on diamond jewelry, diamond stud earrings, pendants and rings, and tennis bracelets, estate jewelry, pearls, the list goes on, and each and every item at fantastic prices. And Louisiana Coin and Jewelry is the area's only Kendra Scott Boutique. Find out more, see the great inventory online if you are inclined at louisianacoin.com, or stop by the brick and mortar location, Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue in the corner of Uptown Shopping Center, and tell them Robert from KEEL sent you in to say hello.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Thousands without power this morning, according to SWEPCO. Nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex are without power as a storm system moves through. Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. Man broke into a home of his ex-girlfriend. Suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape the home. Deputies continue searching for the man at this hour. He's identified as 56-year-old James Salone. They're looking for him now. A warrant's been issued for his arrest for attempted first-degree murder. The founder of Crawfest is turning down the city's help after all. Matt Parker has the latest.
Matt Snyder, founder of Crawfest, has decided not to take the city's help. On Tuesday, Snyder petitioned the city to cover the cost of security, spar, and other hard costs for the for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. On Wednesday, Snyder announced that he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Another day, another school closed due to the flu. Northside Elementary is closed again today because of the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. One man clinging to life, 2 others behind bars. Willie and Marvin Rochelle have been arrested for attempted murder. According to police, the shooting happened on Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. That argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. His wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. The NTSB releasing its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. Pilot Ricky Leonard was given directions by air traffic control before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow those directions once it was in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. With the debate over the death penalty in Louisiana raging, State Senator Dan Claytor plans to file a bill abolishing the death penalty in our state. The Baton Rouge Republican says the death penalty simply doesn't work and is morally wrong. But Attorney General Jeff Landry actually blames the governor for putting the death penalty on hold in our state.
if we have the death penalty and we're not going to utilize it, he is absolutely doing a disservice to the many prosecutors who are out there trying to bring justice.
Similar bills to ban the death penalty have failed previous times. Bossier planning to expand Viking Drive. The project is estimated to cost $10 million. The city will cover 20% of the cost. A federal grant will cover the rest. Senator John Kennedy, who sits on the Senate Budget Committee, questioned the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget, Russell Vaught, over transactions that happened in the final month of the fiscal year. A recent report showed several federal agencies' spending habits that Kennedy wanted answers for.
Are you aware that at the end of last fiscal year, the Department of Defense at the last minute spent $4.6 million on lobster tail and crab?
I am aware of that report, and we're looking into it.
Kennedy's questions didn't just stop with the military's fondness of seafood. The federal government spent $97 billion on contracts in the last month of fiscal year 2018. No big winner in the Powerball drawing last night, so the prize climbs to $495 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic time. Here's Ruben.
A major accident on I-49 northbound, just north of 3132, is backing up traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on that major accident on Walker Road, just under the 3132 overpass. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Don't forget the KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Confirmed Tuesday by the Shreveport City Council, Ms. Sharika Fields-Jones is the city of Shreveport's newest Chief Administrative Officer. Hey, Ms. Sharika, welcome to KEEL. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Well, let me see. You were confirmed on Tuesday, but as the phrase goes, this ain't your first rodeo. You've been in city government, specifically here. You were the assistant CAO for a while. Give us a little background. Tell us about yourself.
That's correct. I have been with the city of Shreveport for 7 years. I started at the airport as the manager of administration and finance, and got a call on one random day from the then mayor, Cedric Glover, and asked to come to City Hall because there was a vacancy as the assistant CAO. And ever since then, I've been working very closely with the CAO and the mayors with, now 3 different administrations, focusing primarily on the budget, fiscal matters, and operational matters of the city.
Going to get into some of the nuts and bolts in a minute, but I guess as a city employee, you have to keep an eye on those mayor's races. And then you hear this young whippersnapper going, well, you're a young whippersnapper yourself, but going out and telling the community, we're going to do a nationwide search. We're going to find the brightest, the best and brightest CAO we can so that person can run the city and I can go out and sell the city. And lo and behold, she's right here under our nose. Were you a little bit concerned about, some big hound dog coming in and running the city over you?
No, it's very humbling, first of all, to have been appointed to this position. Yes, I do, know that every 4 years that, the position that I was in was one that, is still appointed and I could be, replaced. I worked very well with the past CAOs, and I felt like whoever was appointed to that position, that I could work well with them as well, and was looking forward to, providing my expertise and ideas to the city. So yes, it was a surprise to find that I rose through the ranks and was officially the person that the mayor wanted to continue forward in this position.
What did he see? Did you push for it? Did he suggest it? How'd that come about?
I was asked to apply for the position. Initially, I love my job. I love serving the city of Shreveport in whatever capacity that I can do that. It is an honor. I was asked to apply for the position, and I did, and I did see the opportunity to be able to, on another level, be able to influence my community, and then also to be able to support this vision that the mayor has that, I am still very excited about.
So you said a couple of seconds ago, you said, my area of expertise is finance. If one city in America ever needed a CAO whose area of expertise is finance, I would think it's Shreveport. Tell us about, you've been there a while, tell us about Shreveport's finances.
Well, I consider the finances of any organization to be, it's like the glue to the foundation. The city of Shreveport is like a big business, and of course we need a sound financials to be able to operate smoothly. Right now the city of Shreveport's finances are strong and it is solid, but as you know, we have been talking about and having conversations about one of the realities is that we have just a few days of operating reserves. And from my financial background and just, working with rating agencies and other municipalities around the city, it's not the ideal situation. So I am looking forward to working with this mayor, with the council, and, I already have a strong relationship with the department head, so we're going to be digging even deeper to make sure that we are building, the strength of our financials even stronger.
Now that you mentioned it, I'm going to let Erin ask the question because you just tapped the bell when you said the reserve fund.
Oh, it drives me crazy. The budget that you were heavily involved in preparing for the Ollie Tyler, her last year, I believe had somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 million in the reserve. Where are we now? What's happened? I mean, it's critically low now, correct?
Well, as you all are very familiar with our budget, we are projecting a $3 million operating reserve at the end of this year. And I do feel confident that we will meet that target. We will not have the city's audit complete for 2018, for a couple more months. But we will be monitoring even going forward for 2019 to make sure that we are responsive to any changes in revenue, any changes in expenditures, We had a very good year for sales taxes last year, which, worked in our favor. But you all know that sales taxes is a very cyclical revenue source. So, we're going to be looking at both ends, the revenues and expenditures, to make sure that we are staying on target and moving upward.
We did a bunch of bond issues this week, or we're working on it for all the infrastructure stuff. Bond rating is critical. I know you're one of those financial geeks, so you know how important that is. The reserve being at this low level is going to hurt us. Is that accurate?
We have been at this reserve level for a few years, and our rating currently reflects where we are. And my conversations, year after year with the rating agencies is that, they expect the city of Shreveport to come up with a plan and to improve the reserve status. So they are paying attention as they do every year. So it's going to be upon us to sharpen our pencils and make sure that we are showing them that we are moving forward, because we definitely do not want to move in the direction of a downgrade.
Speaking of pencils, the mayor, the city council, for the last, 30 to 45 days, back and forth on the proposed clean city fee, the garbage fee. And the latest one is the $7. And we've had a couple of councilmen on who have said, we're not jumping on that $7, even the $7 bandwagon, until the city shows us, the mayor shows us, that he has trimmed, that he has streamlined the budget as best he can. Is that a job that falls to you?
It does now. It falls upon me to provide the recommendations and to give that information to our leadership, to the mayor and to the council. I have been very aware that the reserve is one that is going to take some very tough decisions to make, and I hope that we will be able to come up with some ways that we can be even more efficient going forward. The departments are very lean. I think the idea that there is a lot of waste it's not what we think or are hoping that we will find, and I look forward to this budget round coming in October and November with the council members so that we can, scrub through the budget. We've been working with our CTO with, making sure that the budget is in a digestible format for the community. But we will be looking into even more efficiencies, the increases that we've had to absorb for our police and fire raises that are mandated, for pension and health care. I mean, we have in the past several years required the departments to absorb those expenses. Mm-hmm. So we have kind of been wringing the towel again and again and again. So we're at a point now where we're going to have to be creative and make some tough decisions at the same time.
Sharika Fields Jones, first African-American CAO in the history of Shreveport. Congratulations on that. That really is history-making, and I know a lot of folks are proud of you. Thanks for your time. Look forward to you joining us again.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Mm-hmm.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL Sports is next. Here's Ruben.
Major accident on I-49 northbound, just north of 3132, is backing up traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on that major accident on Walker Road, just under the 3132 overpass. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
A cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM 710 KEEL Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Louisiana Tech moseyed into the quarterfinals of the Conference USA men's tournament with a 57-56 win over Florida Atlantic and Frisco, Texas Wednesday night. The Bulldogs will face top-seeded Old Dominion this evening at 6. Amori Archibald nailed 2 free throws with 11 seconds to play to give Tech a 2-point lead. Florida Atlantic's Carlos Salinas was fouled with less than 2 seconds to play. He nailed the first free throw but missed the second. The Owls' tip-in attempt wasn't even close, allowing the Dogs to move on. FAU led by 16 points early in the second half. Tech led for less than 40 seconds the entire game. The Lady Techsters were eliminated in the opening round of the women's tourney, 55-46 by Charlotte. Brooks Doer's squad was done in by a 1-for-22 shooting performance in the fourth quarter. The 49ers trailed Tech by 8 entering that final period, but outscored the Techsters 23-6 to advance. LSUS will enter the NAIA tournament as a number 4 seed in the Naismith bracket and will be making their 15th consecutive trip to Kansas City, which is the second longest active streak in the nation. The Pilots' first game is scheduled for next Wednesday at 1:15 in the afternoon, where they will take on 5th-seeded William Jessup University Warriors out of the Golden State Athletic Conference. And finally, 13th-ranked LSU rebounded from Tuesday's loss at Northwestern State to wallop Texas Southern 16-5 at Alec Box. Zach Watson and Antoine each homered and drove in 3 runs for the Tigers. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.117 FM 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin. We invented a new word earlier this week.
Did we?
We're kind of proud of it. It's called PIB.
Yeah.
As in Erin's panties in bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In my instance, it would be sort of the male counterpart would be twib, tidy whities in bunch.
Yeah, twib, yeah.
And as a result of us inventing those words, pib and twib, we also came up with what we're calling the pib and or twib factor.
Right.
I.e., when something upsets Erin or myself, we give it a number between 1 and 10, sort of like the Richter scale.
Is it a Mr. 10
of
pib?
Underwear?
Yeah.
This one has, I would say this is about a 5 or a 6.
Twib?
But it's early in the segment. It could climb to an 8 or a 9.
Oh, you know how my pibs get.
You had a story in the news this morning about the world's most livable cities.
Oh, yeah.
And when I hear these surveys and these expert analyses, I always wonder what the metrics are, because in almost every situation, it's some radically left analysis of a city. Now, at the top of the list was places like Vienna in Austria, which I would love to visit, Berlin, a lot of Euro spots.
Right.
But the most, and here's where we get into the twib factor.
No U.S. city in the top 30.
Hold on a second. But here's where the twib factor begins to rub one a little raw.
The best U.S. city,
according to the metrics of this survey, was San Francisco.
It's a beautiful city.
It used to be.
It's number 34.
Let me make the case that Shreveport, Louisiana should have been ranked higher than San Francisco, California.
Oh, there goes my pib.
List. Hold on a second. If one Googles, follow me here.
Okay.
If one Googles Shreveport feces
What?
One finds the following: Shreveport, gastroenterologist doctors. Shreveport, gastroenterologist doctors. Fido can face fines in river cities. Gastrointestinal specialists.
Okay.
Health library.
We got you. We got enough.
Video. Get a look at a snake pulled out of a woman's car. Now, if one Googles San Francisco feces.
Yeah. I don't want to hear this.
Why is San Francisco covered in human? San Francisco's squalor, city streets strewn with trash, needles, and human waste. San Francisco's sidewalk poop crisis explained. San Francisco city fathers and mothers launch Poop Patrol to clean human waste from streets.
Who's pooping in the streets?
Homeless people. San Francisco sidewalks graffitied with what looks like human waste. I can go on the entire first 2 pages. In Shreveport, it's about doctors and medical specialists.
Right.
And health. And what about your dog? In San Francisco, the top-ranked livable American city according to this BS survey. It's all about human waste in the streets. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL.
Ew.
Ew, I know.
Ew.
Who wants to go there? Traffic update just ahead of local news. Here's Ruben.
A major accident on I-49 northbound just north of 3132 is backing up traffic right now, and we're still keeping an eye on that major accident on Walker Road just under the 3132 overpass. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series.
Information. KEEL News now.
Caddo deputies working to peacefully end a standoff in Keithville. Man broke into a home of his ex-girlfriend. Suspect confronted the woman and a man she's living with. The suspect fired several shots, striking the man in the backside. The woman, her 2 children, and the wounded man were able to escape the home. Deputies continue searching for the man at this hour. He's identified as 56-year-old James Salone. They're looking for him now. A warrant's been issued for his arrest for attempted first-degree murder. Thousands without power this morning, according to SWEPCO. Nearly 1,200 people in Shreveport-Bossier and more than 9,000 across the Arklatex are without power as a storm system moves through. Matt Snyder, the founder of Crawfest, has decided not to take the city's help after all. Snyder petitioned the city to cover the cost of security, spar, and other hard costs for the for-profit event. However, after being approved, many in the community began questioning whether or not the city should help for-profit events. On Wednesday, Snyder announced he will cover the full cost of the event without any help from the city. One man clinging to life, 2 others behind bars. Matt Parker has that.
Willie and Marvin Rochelle have been arrested for attempted murder. According to Shreveport police, the shooting happened in the 500 block of Allen Avenue. Police say the Rochelles were involved in an argument with Derek Montgomery. The argument turned violent, and the Rochelles opened fire on Montgomery, striking him once in the chest. Montgomery's wounds are said to be serious and life-threatening. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Another day, another school is closed due to the flu. Northside Elementary will remain closed today due to the flu. School officials say more than 100 students have been absent or sent home due to the illness. The NTSB releases its preliminary report on a fatal plane crash in Shreveport. According to the agency, the pilot, Ricky Leonard, was given directions by air traffic control at downtown before takeoff. However, the plane did not follow the given directions once it was in the air. A short time later, the plane crashed in the Red River, killing Leonard and his passenger, Scott Hollis. Arkansas moves one step closer to enacting the strictest abortion law in the nation. More from Steve Rappaport.
Lawmakers approved a bill banning abortions after 18 weeks of pregnancy, with exceptions for rape and incest. Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson supports the legislation and believes it would survive a court challenge. Pro-choice groups saying the measure is an unconstitutional attempt to undermine Roe v. Wade. Arkansas already bans the procedure after 20 weeks. Other states tried enacting tighter timeframes for getting abortions, but courts blocked those efforts. Other abortion measures advancing in Arkansas include prohibiting doctors from performing abortions solely because of a Down syndrome diagnosis. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Bossier expanding Viking Drive. The project will cost about $10 million, the city covering 20% of the cost. A federal grant covers the rest. Once the project is bid out, it should take about 18 months to complete. Having trouble with Facebook? Well, the social networking site says it's aware of outages that struck its platforms yesterday. They're trying to fix it. The outages affected not only Facebook, but Messenger and Instagram. ABC is bringing back some old-time and popular game shows. Soon you'll be able to watch again Card Sharks, and you remember the Whammy Show? Press Your Luck coming back too. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Thanks for the positive feedback already, so to speak, on my San Francisco versus Shreveport.
Don't say it again.
Don't say San Francisco poop.
Don't.
Hey, there's a reason. There's a reason the baseball team, the San Francisco Giants, wear brown hats.
Oh,
okay,
yikes.
That's all I got to say.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so hang on a couple. Oh man, we're running late, but that's not necessarily bad. Matt has a new post up on the website at keelnews.com. We talked about yesterday the Jimi Hendrix ticket stub from Shreveport Municipal Auditorium. Jimi Hendrix, 1968, July, I think, was the month.
July 31st.
And it's on sale for $289 on eBay. But what Parkey did was he went back, and you can see all the photos and stuff at keelnews.com, and it's basically a list of a ton of Shreveport or Shreveport-related memorabilia on eBay. Run down some of the list.
Well, you got the Jimi Hendrix concert stub. There's a Louisiana Hayride autograph book, which features autographs from Hank Snow and Elvis Presley.
Among others.
Among others.
How much is that for sale?
$1,600 or best offer.
Yowza.
We got some Louisiana Citizen Bank of Shreveport money.
This is awesome. Okay, it's during the Confederacy.
Okay.
And evidently the Citizens Bank of Shreveport in the 1860s, this is like 1864, I think.
Man, it goes that far back?
Were printing their own money.
Wow.
And it's during, I forget, and there's a portrait on the cash, on the bill. And there's no name attached to it, so we don't know who it is.
Oh, my.
And if you do nothing else, in fact, I'm thinking about posting that on Facebook or specifically my own personal page later, just who can identify this Louisiana historical figure? Is it the owner of the bank? Is it the mayor of Shreveport? It's not the governor of Louisiana, because I looked to see.
It's not Henry Miller Shreve?
Well, during that time, every little individual parish and or city, depending on the size of the city and or parish, had their own money. So like New Orleans had their own bank issuing their own cash.
Basically was it was the Bitcoin of the 19th century.
I love that.
But it's an awesome article with some incredible photos, and you can look at it at your leisure at KEELnews.com. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Ruben's here.
Still keeping a close eye on some heavy backed up traffic on I-49 northbound, just north of 3132 due to an accident. And we just received reports of a minor accident on East 70th Street near East Kings Highway. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Shreveport Security Systems text line, 318-392-1884. Okay, last hour, a chat with Crawfest Guy, President, CEO, organizer, Matt Snyder, who has finally decided, well, not finally, pretty quick decision, has informed the city he's not taking, not the money, he is not going to take advantage of what he says was the city's offer of services, i.e., the city said the city was going to pick up the tab for police security. You got to pay the overtime,
right?
And SPAR employees to set up
and the shuttles and all that,
and all that kind of stuff. According to Mr. Matt, the city of Shreveport had offered, and listen, the city on Tuesday, the city council said we will do it. A 7-0 vote of city services valued in the range of
20 G's.
Is $20,000 a fair assessment? So, what did you take away from our conversation with Mr. Matt last hour?
He's not taking the help any longer.
Why not? What did he tell us? Too much hassle.
Yeah.
Too much negative publicity. Might hurt his event.
Right. And he can afford, I mean, the event's grown enough where he can afford.
Here was my question.
But the problem is if it's a rainy weekend, if it gets a washout, he's screwed because some of those costs you can't get back.
Here's my question to you. And I said to you in the 6 o'clock hour, I said, is this reading too much between the lines to say? Does his saying to the city council, to the city of Shreveport, appreciate the offer? On second thought, I don't need it. Does Matt Snyder turning down the city of Shreveport say to not only the city, but everybody, I didn't need you guys that much after all?
Maybe.
I'm
not sure.
Get by without you.
The problem with this now is that the city, here's the problem that Mr. Snyder's going to have, is the city, to bring barricades out, they still have to pass a resolution. Because they pass a resolution to bring barricades out to these races, to festivals. They pass a resolution saying cooperative endeavor agreement with X festival. They bring barricades out. They bring certain equipment out.
So
he still needs the barricades. There's some things he still needs, but it's not been approved yet. What are we going to do about that?
Well, has that...
His festival's in a week.
Evidently, that hasn't been a problem the last couple of years.
Well, he's had a resolution passed. Well, now we have no resolution passed, except I guess he's going to, fund the cost of it all.
Well, now, obviously, as he told us, he's going to pick up the tab for the security. And understand, it's not like Erin and I going to spin records or be wedding DJs at someone's nuptials.
Right.
As a favor to them.
Mm-hmm.
The policeman, and don't get me wrong, I'm not busting anybody on this. It's just kind of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
When those policemen show up for the security detail, they need to be paid overtime. The city was, in fact, going to make that payment to them.
Sure.
The SPAR people who would show up with the trucks and set up the tables and the barricades and the chairs and whatever else was in that deal, those people are actually paid. He historically has paid that amount to the city.
Right.
The city, via the city council's resolution on Tuesday, said 7-0. We will pick up that tab for you.
I guess now instead
he now has turned that down.
Yeah, but I guess he's going to accept what's in the resolution of all the help, but now he'll reimburse the city for the cost rather than the city not having him reimburse. Because you still got the method in place for giving him all the help he needs. I guess I was just overthinking that perhaps, but he's now going to reimburse the city for those costs. And so they'll now have to go back and see what's the dollar amount for X, Y, Z, and here's your bill.
I think this has just over the last 72 hours.
It blew the heck up.
Just blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that the city reaching out to give a guy and his festival a little help, $20,000 worth, why do you think that was met with such resistance, such vitriol, such...
There's a couple of things. It's here, 2 weeks before his festival, so you feel like you kind of got steamrolled a smidge, though it's been on the agenda for a couple of weeks. And there's a couple of other reasons. B, it's a for-profit event. And with the city's budgetary constraints right now, should we be funding for-profit events? Should we be doing things for free for companies that ordinarily would be paying?
So
and thirdly,
go ahead.
Thirdly, Mr. Snyder is one of the people some would say is in the Adrian Perkins inner circle. He's on one of those transition subcommittees. I think he's on the entertainment subcommittee or the quality of life subcommittee. So it kind of has a 4-day-old tuna smell to it. You're like, I don't know. Is he getting help because he's in the in club at City Hall now and he's getting some assistance? But don't get me wrong, Crawfest is a great event. Betty Virginia Park is just teeming with people during this event.
And the point he made, he said, yep, I'm a for-profit event. He said, but on the other hand, I am trying to build what will become a tradition in this city.
Sure.
Equal Red River Revel or any of the other festivals.
Right.
Mudbug Madness, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the other major festivals that this city has.
Right.
The difference is, as you pointed out, he's a for-profit guy.
And he sold he sold thousands and thousands of dollars worth of sponsorships for this event, and that's only going to continue to grow. And I wish him all the best. He's done a great job getting this event off the ground. This is the third year. It's now expanded to 2 days.
Do you think that this, despite the fact that he has now said, nope, shut the door, I'll pick up the tab myself, who needs ya? Do you think this still is going to open the door, as it were, for other for-profit?
Oh, it opened the door. Oh, it definitely opened. They passed it 7-0. Despite what he does, you're still going to have others that are now going to line up.
And what was the statement by the mayor? What did the mayor say? We welcome any...
Yeah, we welcome these kind of events. They're going to bring good quality of life to our community, and we want to help them when we can.
Welcome these events, and we would like to help them if we can. That's basically what the mayor said.
Absolutely.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update coming up right now. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on some heavy backed up traffic on I-49 northbound, just north of 3132 due to an accident. And we just received reports of a minor accident on East 70th Street near East Kings Highway. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Weddick at the Weather Channel.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
At Tuesday's City Council meeting, the organizers of Crawfest, which is scheduled for next weekend, got the city of Shreveport to guarantee to cover up to 20% of their costs. And then a day later, they said thanks, but no thanks.
Apparently, during the council meeting, Councilwoman Livette Fuller offered an amendment saying that the city could audit the financial records of the event if it contributed to the event. And here's the bottom line. If you don't want taxpayers in your business, then maybe you shouldn't ask them to pay for any of your business. It's not the proper role of government.
Furthermore, the city shouldn't be getting involved with any private enterprise that doesn't actually make the city a return on its investment. When you waste money, you're wasting the taxpayers' money, and that's not okay.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel.
Top of the morning to you.
Robert, okay.
Was that it?
Okay, so here's the deal.
Top of the morning.
Forget what I was going to talk about.
Is that Irish?
So the other day I go into one of the production studios, and Crystal, our production director, is editing a commercial, a St. Patrick's Day ad that Erin had done.
Jolly old.
And at the end of it, because it starts off, Happy St. Patrick's Day. The copy was Happy St. Patrick's Day from blah, blah. And Erin did it in her regular voice, and it was, as always, a pretty damn good job.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But then at the end,
mediocre.
She says, well, let me try the opening line. And she does it in what was an attempt at an Irish brogue.
My Irish brogue.
Okay, here's how it sounded.
I am Erin McCarthy.
Here's how it sounded on the on the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Wear another green, are
You
ya?
sounded like the Crypt Keeper. And if you keep it to...
The Crypt Keeper likes green beer, too.
If you keep it to one or two words, you do a pretty good job.
Man.
It's when you try to do whole sentences...
That's a problem.
That it tends to come off
That's a problem
the
in regular
rails,
English for me,
and
too.
you sound like you're sleeping in a coffin.
Yeah.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM, and 710 Keel.
Uber's out with their annual Lost and Found report that details commonly lost items. But it's the strangest things that people leave in an Uber that grabbed my attention. Kim Commando with Thursday's Consumer Tech Update. Get extended interviews on tech topics and all the latest tech news with the free Commando podcasts, available on Apple, Google, or wherever you do get your podcasts. If you ever leave something in an Uber, just open the app, select the trip, and choose I lost an item. It'll cost you at least $15 to get it back. Uber found people are most likely to forget watches on a Monday, headphones on a Tuesday, laptops on a Wednesday, books on a Thursday, passports on a Friday, phones on Saturdays, and cakes on Sundays. But someone left a full set of 18-karat gold teeth in the back of an Uber, while someone else lost the head of a salmon, deer antlers, a bird, a full-size mannequin, and an 8-week-old chihuahua never made it home either. So a PSA, check that Uber before you get out. I'm Kim Commando. As a business owner, I rely on Dell Small Business Technology Advisors. I'm Kim Commando. Now, you and I both know there's nothing small about our businesses. Our reputation is always on the line, and that's where the Dell Small Business Technology Advisors come in. Reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors are rock solid. That means you can focus on getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL. That's 1-877-BUY-DELL.
Think about it. How did you sleep last night? Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch, where your sleep is all we think about. That's why we make the softest, most comfortable sheets in the world. The only sheets loved by 3 U.S. presidents. We want you to love Boll & Branch, so we give you a 30-day risk-free trial. And right now, you'll get $50 off your first set of sheets, plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com with promo code KIM. That's BOLL and branch.com. Promo code KIM.
Still keeping an eye on some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound, just north of 3132 due to a major accident. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
A cold front pushing through the Arklatex now will bring an end to the shower and thunderstorm chances this morning. Skies clearing this afternoon at 70. A few clouds tonight, chilly temperatures low 43. Sunny, cooler tomorrow, high 60. Saturday, partly cloudy. Saturday's high near 60. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.